65, and what a great showing by Josh Kim there for the Crimson, setting the pace, as you mentioned, Justin, for this afternoon, for this dual meet, and now we're going up to 174.
This is Harvard's best wrestler, Phil Conigliaro, senior out of Dedham, Mass, ranked 10th right now as his headwear comes off immediately. Conigliaro is 16-1 this year, 6-0 in dual meets. Ranked 10th in the most recent Flow Wrestling rankings, going against Mikey Squires, the junior from Norwich, New York, for Princeton, who's 1-5 in duels this year. And George, this is an area that there's no doubt about it. Harvard, in terms of the overall scoring this afternoon, they're not just looking to win here at 74. They're hoping Conigliaro can certainly get them some bonus points, whether it's a major decision, tech fall, or even a pin.
That would go a long way here to open this dual meet for the Crimson. Mikey Squires got 3 techs in his back pocket in his career.
Quick takedown there for Conigliaro. And now he'll hold on to Squires and try and build some points, some riding time as well.
Smart play there by Conigliaro. There's a reason why he's number 10 in the country at 174. Saw the opening down low, got the advantage, shot him down to the mat, got the takedown, and now the riding time as well.
Conigliaro this season, the one kind of note is that his 6-0 record in the duels, all against unranked opponents, but Jay Weiss said to us this week, his head coach, he's just getting better and better and better as this year goes along. He finished second at Midlands, first at the Franklin and Marshall Open, and that overall 16-1 record this year is mighty impressive.
It's exactly what you want from your wrestler as you get closer and closer to EIWAs and NCAAs. You want them to hit their stride as close. Obviously, you want to dominate the whole season, but if you don't, you want to hit your stride as close toward the end of the year as possible. And as you mentioned, Justin, with Conigliaro getting stronger and stronger every year, as we see him going to have the advantage here and accumulate more ride time on Mikey Squires. It's exactly what Harvard needed. They got the strong start at 165, followed up by an equally strong 174 here as we're under a minute in the first.
So the quick takedown for Conigliaro has him up 3-0, and then the riding time almost at 90 seconds already for the senior out of Dedham. Harvard off to the good start with Josh Kim winning by decision at 165 over Blaine Berge. And now Conigliaro trying to see if he can get Squires on his back and maybe end this match early.
Conigliaro had Squires' left leg, had his left leg inside of Squires' left leg. Squires kind of frogged himself up to free up his legs and try to stand up here, but all this time, that riding time is accumulating, and right now at 2:10 and improving for Conigliaro.
Dominant first period for Conigliaro. 2 minutes, 12 seconds of riding time, and after the takedown up 3-0. And Squires will start on top here in the second. See if he can whittle a little bit of that riding time down.
Interesting approach by Squires, opting to stay on the mat as he rolled him over, but Conigliaro quickly up and able to squirm out of it as they both go off the mat, and they'll go back towards center.
Conigliaro had not escaped there, so he'll go back on bottom. 9 seconds into the second period. Conigliaro was an NCAA qualifier last year. 4 wins at the EIWA championships. He was the EIWA champion at 165 2 years ago, but obviously now wrestling at 74 and a real contender to be an All-American this year as a senior. He's worked his way back on top of Squires after another takedown. 5-0. They're actually going to call that a reversal, I should say. So 5-0, riding time building again. And Conigliaro thinking about a lot of bonus points for Harvard.
Squires was a little soft in the lower half of his body there, and Conigliaro saw it, was able to get the reversal, and now back on top to increase that riding time, now eclipsing the 2:12 he had in the first period.
Conigliaro's just kind of going to let him up, so Squires gets on the board with the escape. 2:16 of riding time, and the reason for that, Conigliaro wants to start going for takedowns again and building on his lead. 45 seconds to go here in the second.
That's smart. Some viewers may say just take that ride time, but if you could build upon your lead, you've already shown you could reverse out of something. You've already had one takedown. There's the other. Another 3 points for Conigliaro.
So it was 8-1, and if you add the riding time point, that would make it 9-1, and that gets you in major decision territory.
Just a brilliant match here by Conigliaro, attacking at the right time, using his leverage, and going against Squires' maybe inability to lock himself in and protect himself with his lower half.
So that's all for the period. And the lead is 8-1 for Conigliaro, 2:50 of riding time. And let's see how they start the third. Maybe neutral? No, Conigliaro is going to start on top here. Just a couple seconds away already from riding time, the point being locked in. Conigliaro lets him go right away. So it's 8-2, 9-2 with the riding time point, if that comes into play, which it officially will. So counted as 9-2. His riding time is locked in. You have to win by 8 points to get major decision. Obviously, a tech fall would be 15 points in terms of the differential. So Conigliaro needs a little more to get back into that 8-point range to get 4 for his team instead of just the 3. And he gets a quick takedown. So now 11-2, counting as 12-2.
And an already insurmountable riding time increasing here for Conigliaro.
So he is going to continue his dominant season and go to 17-1 here and 7-0 in the duels. And the only question is, how much does he help his team on the overall scoreboard for the day? 11-3 now. Squires got the escape point. 1 minute to work with here for these two wrestlers at 174. Even though Jay Weiss did talk with us about liking to start at 125 with Diego Sotelo as kind of a spark plug for his team, going with Kim and then Conigliaro at 65 and 74 is not a bad way to start for Harvard. That's two of their best wrestlers for sure.
Right in the middle of the weight classes, and when you're coming off of a weekend where maybe you're not accustomed to the double duels in one day, as you mentioned, Justin, just kind of a reset. Okay, let's go with our strong to right off the rip, and let's establish ourselves immediately in this meet, and that's exactly what Harvard has done.
Squires showing some fight here, had a hold of Conigliaro's leg for a moment, but now Conigliaro in the last couple seconds trying to make something happen, turning Squires, trying to get those shoulders on the mat, won't quite do it, but he does get another takedown, and that'll do it at 174. 15-3 the final. Conigliaro wins by major decision, and Harvard leads 7-0 after the first two weight classes.
2 weight classes, 2 victories, and more importantly, a